So I bought a whole heap of action figures at Dollar Tree, and this is how it went. So there's a new line of action figures out at Dollar Tree. A lot of people have been talking about it. It's called Final Faction. And I was just going to make a video about those, but as I was shopping for Final Faction stuff, I had to go to a couple stores to get all the stuff I wanted. I found a few other things, and I bought those as well, and I figured, hey, we'll just make a video about the kind of toys and things you can get at Dollar Tree for $1. So, yeah, Final Faction. We'll just get right to it. So, this, as my brother said, somehow brings back the nostalgia of going to a dollar store and buying a cool toy for just $1. Retro Blasting did a really amazing video talking about how these have the nostalgia of walking into a store, finding an affordable action figure that looks cool, and just buying it. Because you can find these. I did have some issues with a couple of the characters, and you'll see that, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's got all these, characters in this bio that I'll look at real quick. These really remind me of mid-2000s G.I. Joes as well, because those also made it to dollar stores. There's like a budget version of those. And yeah, there's also a cartoon for these. I think it mentions it right there. Yeah, there's like a couple episodes on YouTube. I watched the first one. It really reminds me of the mid-2000s Spy Troop stuff, and I love it. But yeah, like just looking at Sergeant Steadfast here. You can see he's got a cool helmet, which is what he'll have all the time. But look, this thing only costs $1. And that's not bad looking, man. His eyes are on straight, his beard's on straight. He has a robo arm, he has like a paint wash. He looks really cool. He comes with a gun that actually fits in his hand. Yeah, let's open him up. You can see his bio right there if you want to pause and read that. They gave them bios too. There's so much character. Look at all these names and everything. Guess which one I bought. But yeah, I got Steadfast because, hey, cool looking military man. And it was only $1. So, getting him out, you may feel like, oh, the plastic quality might be really bad on these. No, not really. Like, you've seen me review some knockoff figures on the channel in the past, and all you have to do is, like, stretch their legs just a little bit, and they just crack open. Not the case. Look at that. That's totally solid. Can he hold his cool-looking gun? The answer is yes, and he holds it very, very well. Whoever designed these, man, they actually cared. They genuinely actually cared about what they were making. His head does look a little squished. It does look ever so slightly squished, as you can see, but he's got, like, a scar. He's actually got sculpted detail and everything, and he has this cool helmet that basically makes him look like a Steel Brigade from G.I. Joe. A little bit of a mold flash on the top. But honestly, man, that's sweet. Only $1. This is only $1. And you'll see what kind of other things you can get for $1 from, like, name brands. What they offer for $1 compared to what Final Faction gives you for $1. So for $1, you get 2 accessories and a figure with decent paint and everything, and like really cool sculpted detail. Look at that. And he's got a hole in his arm. You'll see why in a minute. But yeah, man, that's sweet. Sergeant Steadfast. So that's one. But that's not all. Another kind of thing from this line is the ACRM. This is an augmented combat rescue mech. It's a big, awesome mech. And yet again, really cool bio. I really like the story on these. You can read it's like, in 2050, there's aliens, blah, 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 we gotta fight them. But yeah, ACRM, man. This is one I had issues with. I went to one Dollar Tree, and they did not have the ACRM, and I had to go to another to find it. But, ooh, his head's a little wibbly. But here is the ACRM out of the box. And again, really awesome detail. Like, the plastic's really nice quality. I'm kind of surprised his head is wibbly because I actually already have one of these. I bought a second one because why wouldn't I? But you can see he's got all these sculpted scratches and everything. All these dings. He's so weathered and beaten up. I bought another to paint up because I just saw the sculpted detail and thought, yes, this needs a cool paint job. You can see all these scratches and everything. Whoever sculpted these put so much love into it compared to some of the other things you can buy for $1. But yeah, really cool. I don't know why his head's so wibbly though, because my other one's not like that. I'll just chalk that up to some mild QC issue. No biggie, no biggie. And I'm gonna have a lot of trash, so I have like a box next to me. Let's get into some of the things that you can get with these figures. Like weapons packs. You can also buy individual weapons packs. They give them really cool names like Skyflower, Rabid Wolf, the Railgun, Angry Ape, and the Tattooist. That's really sweet. I think that's the Tattooist right there. Yeah, these guns, man, I saw them and I'm like, for just $1, even if I don't use them for Final Faction, these are really sweet. Oh man, it's kind of nostalgic ripping into a dollar store toy box like this. But yeah, that was their workaround with, since they don't come with tons of weapons like, you know, G.I. Joes used to. I can't say do because they don't anymore. Because perceived value and all that. You can't make G.I. Joes look like they're more of a value than Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series, so... yeah, we can get all these out. And, that's that package torn to shreds. And here's all the weapons. And again, pretty... you can... listen, it's not the worst plastic quality. It really isn't. For just $1, this thing... this is the Tattooist. And I love all the names, too. Like, this would actually look really cool with, like, a clone trooper or something. You know what? Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me grab a clone. Because I gotta do this. Of course, I had to grab one of my favorites. Yeah, let's see what he looks like with the Tattooist. Look at that! That is sweet! Just $1, you can give your clone a minigun. I love that. And he holds it perfectly. So it's like, these can also work as accessory packs for other things. You can see this kind of gun that I can hardly... oh, it's got like a missile. Oh, that's sweet. It's like a missile launcher kind of weapon. I would assume it has to be left-handed. Yeah, that's neat. Then you just have other rifles and things. Like, look at that. It's got the little carry handle. Man, these are really good guns. And look at the plastic. It looks really good for just being $1. Man, these are nice. These are really nice. Look at that, you can hold that too. And I'm sure the actual Final Faction guys can hold them too, so... I think the Tattooist is going to go to a clone. But yeah, that's some weapons. You can arm these guys up. But I think it's about time we look at something else you can get for just $1 from G.I. Joe. So, like I said, G.I. Joe used to come with all these weapons, and they used to be at dollar stores. But now, this is the only thing you can buy for $1. Limited edition. It's Cobra Commander mini figurine. Yes, it is 6 to collect. I just got Cobra Commander because he's the one I wanted. But yeah, this is all G.I. Joe can muster for $1. So for $1 from G.I. Joe, you can get a decently painted figure of Cobra Commander, based off his classified look, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this costs $1 from Hasbro. And this costs $1 from Final Faction. So you tell me where the deal lies. Just saying. Now, honestly, look at the paint. Pretty much the same kind of paint. Little black boots, little yellow there, little gray there. Comparing to this, you got some silver there, some dry brushing there, and then like some brown and black on his face. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely... these are a good bang for your buck, honestly, Final Faction. Now, I'm not going to open every single Final Faction thing here, but this is another weapons pack that you can use to arm up the ACRM. You can give him wings, you can give him thrusters, you can give him back thrusters, you can give him arm cannons. Those arm cannons you can also put on other mech characters, such as Steadfast's arm, and then there's another character. So yeah, you have more weapons, and then you also have more characters. The Karn! This is another guy I struggled to find, the Brute from the Karn, because I guess he was just kind of hard to find. So yeah, these are the bad alien guys. And also for $1, this guy has got some chonk. He's got some chonk to him, man. Again, kind of a loosey-goosey head. But still, for just $1, he's got some chonk. And the plastic feels good. It feels good. I'm surprised. Let's give him his weapon, I think. I hope. Can we give him his weapon? Come on, take your weapon. I don't want to take my weapon. I like this guy because his head reminds me of like the double-headed Shockwave guys from Age of Extinction. But yeah, I mean, look at him. He looks cool too. And he's all big and chonky. And I mean, look at how chonky he is compared to Steadfast. He's way heavier too. And then here he is with the ACRM. So it's like, yeah, man, just $1. That guy's really cool. And then you don't just have... my desk is just so cluttered. Let me get some of this trash off. I have a freaking trash can next to me. Why do I still keep the trash on the table? But you also have just a drone. And you can just army build these guys. These are army builders, both the brute and the drone. Heck, you could army build the ACRM too if you want. But yeah, these are the baddies. There was another kind of baddie, the Synthoid. I just didn't like the look of him, so I didn't buy him. He's got like interchangeable arms and everything too, which is cool, but I just didn't like his look. But yeah, here's the drone. You can see he's got like a dry brush on him, and he's got red eyes. He looks pretty cool. I mean, 5 points of articulation, only for $1. I mean, oh my goodness, that's really good. Like, just imagine having a massive army of these guys if you're, like, really into it. I'm sure someone for only $1 each has, like, army built. Heck, I'd army build ACRMs if I was so inclined. But, again, more weapons packs. You can see this one has a cool alternate helmet, some pistols, some, like, a drone right there, like a hoverboard, something like that. Like a grapple hook, only for $1. You can add weapons like Dawn and Dusk, Lion Fang, Stratus Board, Owl Eyes. Those are like, they put so much effort into these, and I love them. So, more weapons from Final Faction before we look at some of the other things you can get at Dollar Tree. These weapons go to the Karn. So we have the Quake Arms and the Shock Arms. So the Quake Arms are cool because these can give your guys backpacks and more guns. So got like this cool looking gun, and look at these gun designs, man. Like what do they call this one? This little thing's called the Grabber. Shoots a piercing projectile that hooks into an enemy. So it's like a little, like a hook gun. That is so cool. And they give them bios so kids actually know how to play with them. So you can give them that. And then you have these backpacks. And you can see they're screwed on too. They're not just like sonic welded. So there's some quality and heft to these. You can give them backpacks, and that tabs on really good. So yeah, this backpack, what does this thing do? Spike launcher. So that's a spike launcher. And this is an acid spitter. You can see it's got like these little mouths on it too. That's so cool. They look so organic and creepy. But yeah, you can see right there. He's actually got a couple holes. So you can have them lower, you can have them higher. It's really nice. Yeah, you got an acid spitter on the brute. So yeah, you can give them even more weapons. I love that. So you can customize them and like have them armed up differently. Speaking of arms, also the shock arms, as I said, just gives them different unique weapons. That one looks super cool. Almost looks like it has like a ball of energy in between it. Look at that sculpting, man. Look at that. That is awesome. You just don't see unique toy line stuff like this anymore, and it's a real shame. It is a crying shame. Here, let's give Steadfast here a different gun. Look at that. That is sweet. I mean, he doesn't hold every gun the greatest, I found, but he at least holds them. Better I can say for some other figures. He's not wanting to hold that one. But, speaking of those other figures, this is what Hasbro has at Dollar Tree for just $1. I think it's one single, oh, you actually get 2 figurines. That was one single figurine from their Micro Force line. They're just blind bags. I don't think they're originally meant for Dollar Tree, but they're an epic failure, and they ended up at Dollar Tree. So, yeah, I had some of these when they were fighter pods, but I haven't really bought into any of them since they are now Micro Force. They don't even come with the little fighter pods anymore. So I'm sure the 2 characters we got are just as boring as the last ones I've gotten in the past. The Black BB unit. I actually do not have like a toy of him at all, so that's kind of neat. And then we have General Organa. How exciting. So yeah, that's what you get from Hasbro for $1 for Star Wars. I don't think they're originally meant to be $1. I think they're originally meant to be like $3-4. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, that was at Dollar Tree as well. I felt like that was kind of a waste of my money. But we also need to look at, before we look at the bad side, because I had to buy one thing that's kind of bad. This is what Marvel offers at Dollar Tree for $1. It's just a bust of Iron Man. And yeah, it's not bad looking. It's got metallic paint. It feels decently weighty. I might keep it in the box because I actually kind of like the look of the box, and it really has no use out of the box for me. I don't know, I just like that plastic box. I think we'll keep it in there for now. But yeah, for $1, that's what you get from Hasbro. But, I mean, articulated action figure, little mini bust. You know, it's one of those things where you think, oh, it's licensing fees and all that. But yes, I understand the licensing fees cost a lot. But there are no licensing fees with Hasbro G.I. Joe. I'm just going to leave it at that. Hasbro entirely owns G.I. Joe. There ain't any licensing fees. So, just going to leave it at that. But we must look at the bad side of Dollar Tree. The bag is finally empty. And we can finally move our stuff into frame as we look at the very last beautiful item in this assortment. I totally knocked him over. That's my fault. I got all these little guys. Does he even stand up? Oh, he actually does. Dang. Then all the weapons. So, we've already spent some money. I think I spent less than $10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I've spent more than $10. But I also bought this. Ninja! Action figures, figurines, articules. It's a ninja! This is the bad side of Dollar Tree, everyone. It's a ninja! He's got like this Sub-Zero looking like battle mask looking robot looking face looking thing. So that's interesting. Totally blank back. No bio, nothing like that. Let's get into it. Let's see. These are the kind of Dollar Tree toys I bought as a kid. The kind of ones that didn't last. The kind of ones that I just ended up throwing out. Let's see if they've improved. Let's see if this is still the trash side of Dollar Tree. Ooh, yes. Oh my god. Ooh, wow. He feels so cheap. Like, he is... I'm pretty sure he is lighter. I think he might be lighter than Sergeant Steadfast. Oh my gosh, can you hear that? Like, he's just so cheap. He's so brittle. I could break him super easily if I exerted any more force than what I'm doing. Like him, no, he's solid. Because he's all screwed in and everything. But, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is not good. This is not... Look at how... He's got hollow arms. Oh my gosh. He apparently has no knees. I don't think knee muscles look like that. I'm pretty sure they don't. Ooh. Oh, he's got eyes. I just realized that. He's got eyes. So he looks even more like a robot. He looks cool. I'll give him that. He looks cool. I can see some very, very big and bad mold marks. Like, look at that up there. I think it's just a mold mark. Maybe, is it? Yeah, it's just a mold mark on that mask. And look at that paint. That is gross. See, oh my gosh, look at his hands! He's got midden hands! No! He's got mittens! He's got mittens. How do these go on? How do these even go on? I don't know how... There we go. Dang, I actually tabbed in pretty good. So yeah, he doesn't even have real hands either. So just compare like the sculpt work on this, which is probably just a blank icky body with horrible anatomy, compared to the sculpt work on Steadfast. With all the scratches, all the little details, all the costuming. Yeah, kind of night and day there. And let's give him his mask. Let's give him his ninja mask. His armor mask. If it'll even tab in. Ooh. Will it tab in? Yes. Oh my gosh, that is never coming undone ever again. Why does he even need to have it split? You can just pull it off. So yeah, so what have we learned today? Well, Final Faction is absolutely awesome. I don't think I'm going to buy more than these, though. Just leave it at 2 per faction, because I don't really like any of the other characters. And you can still buy some crappy stuff at Dollar Tree. I mean, the paint's so faded, too. Look at that. And I cannot really emphasize how cheap this feels. It really does not feel good at all. It really does not. And then you can also see what other places... other franchises will give you for $1, which is not much, honestly. Like the Cobra Commander Man for just $1. That's really, compared to Final Faction, yikes. And both of them are original properties from the companies. I don't really think Final Faction has a company, though. They're distributed by Green Breer International. I think they're just something basically made for Dollar Tree. So I guess it's a Dollar Tree brand of action figures. But yeah, man, just look at that. That's the kind of stuff you can buy for $1. It's not that bad in the Final Faction realm, but it's also still, as always, pretty bad. You can still get the really bad stuff. I would just break this on camera, but I kind of like his look, so I don't know. But yeah, Final Faction, man, that's some awesome stuff. I recommend Final Faction, I genuinely do. I was introduced to it through the Ashens video. So Ashens did an awesome video, then Retroblasting also did a little while ago. But yes, again, cannot recommend enough. Final Faction is awesome. There's some other random things you can get at Dollar Tree. Not the greatest. And there's also some crap. But yeah, those are the kind of figures and toys you can get at Dollar Tree for just $1. Highly recommend Final Faction, like I said. Alrighty guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, and let me know what kind of stuff you find at Dollar Tree. I found some knockoff Transformers at Dollar Tree, but I was not necessarily inclined to get those for this video because I might do another video on knockoff Transformers. We'll have to wait and see. Alrighty guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.